Hello and welcome to George Anderson Field in Medfield, Massachusetts on Friday, October 13th for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Football 2023. It's found only on HCAT TV. Tonight, the Panthers face the Medfield Warriors for the 72nd time in their history. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is my co-host, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, last week the Panthers lost a heartbreaker to Norwood. What do you expect to see from Holliston against Medfield tonight?
Well, I'm hoping we're going to find out who the real Holliston team is. You know, it's funny. You talk to like Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells says you are who your record is. Well, their record is 2-3. But then the MIAA says you are who your opponent's record is. So based on that, we're number 2 in Division 4. Now, this is a ball club, this Holliston team that, you know, they're really 3 points away from being 1-4, and they're 6 points away from being 4-1. So tonight we got to see them come out. We got to see them play a clean game, and this is a team that they should be able to play pretty well against. But I will tell you this is not like the old Medfield team. These kids are pretty good, and they play pretty hard. They got a good running back, and they got some good offensive linemen and a good defense. So I think we're going to see a pretty good game tonight, hopefully we get a win here.
Captains out for the coin toss. Number 70, Jack Schellings. Number 51, David Villa. Number 3, Devin Harding. Number 5 is Brad Andriola. Number 15 is Kevin Zahajian. Panthers come into this game with a record of 2-3, averaging 19 points a game. Their head coach is Todd Kiley in his 21st season with the Panthers. His record, 169 wins against 57 losses. The Medfield Warriors' record is 2-3, averaging 13 points a game. Their head coach, Eric Ornberg, in his 13th season with the Warriors. His record, 53 wins against 79 losses. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a few moments. And now, HCAT's onboard stats computer, Carlos Canto with Los's pregame lowdown.
Thank you very much, Tom. You know, last year these two teams played back in the cozy confines of Comedian Field. It was a very comfortable 50-14 win by the Panthers. TJ Kiley had a great game in that matchup, 196 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He was aided in large part by Andrew Dennison, 4 catches for 112 yards, including a receiving touchdown. So we'll see if the Panthers display some of that razzle-dazzle tonight in this game. A very chilly night here in Medfield. Last week you could break out the beach attire. But this week it is much colder, 57 degrees at kickoff, but clear skies, not a cloud in sight. Really nice night for some football.
Thank you, Los.
pretty interesting. 57 degrees is cold.
Number 1, Connor Teague gets ready to kick off from Holliston. His kick is boomed all the way back to the 6-yard line. Tackled by number 30, Kylie Vargas.
Decent run back there by this team. What you're going to see offensively now for Medfield, you're going to see a team that kind of like to run a lot. It looks like number 12 is Muntz is the starting quarterback. He's the guy that was throwing the ball a lot against Hopkinton's Tom, and they had 2 quarterbacks play, so he may be coming out to throw the ball, but you're going to see several different formations out of this team. They're going to be heavy blocking formations. This is a team that runs quite a bit.
Alex Munn, the quarterback, number 12. Hands off on first down, and he's swarmed under. Number 44, C.J. Pacheco.
Nice job by C.J. in there. And what you want to watch for now is they love to run the ends. They like to get him outside, and that's why they have the backfield designed for power blocking around the end. So be very careful on the ends here. Make sure you contain. If you can contain McCormick, you're going to be in good shape. But if you don't, you're going to be like Holliston and Hopkinton. He's going to run all over you.
Pacheco, that was his 10th tackle of the year, 2 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. 2nd down and 10. Another handoff and pushed back by a pile of Panthers. McCormick last week rushed 24 times for 118 yards and a touchdown in their 21-14 loss to Hopkinton.
Yeah, he looked really good too, Tom. He was a very good runner. He ran inside, he ran outside, but mostly outside. Loves to go off tackle.
3rd down and 9 for the Warriors.
Now you can put pressure on the Warriors here if you can blitz. Hopkinton blitzed them pretty well.
Munch pitches it to McCormick. Tries to get outside. Tackle by Bazisco, number 42. Matt Bazisco leading the team with 24 tackles and 4 for loss. They'll bring up 4th down for the Warriors.
Nice job by Bazisco. And what you want to do there is you want to either make it go wide like Holliston did there, but contain it. Don't let him turn. And he made him run out of field, and Holliston was there. Bazisco made the tackle.
Aiden Ibbotson, number 17, and number 5, Brad Andriola back to receive the punt for Holliston. Andriola takes it on a bounce, gets it out near midfield. Brad had an electrifying 79-yard kickoff return for a touchdown last week against Norwood.
Boy, it was good, and he gets out there. He's not afraid of anything. He'll get out there and get the ball if it's anywhere near him, and he picked up an extra maybe 5 or 10 or 15 yards there for Holliston.
So great field position for the Panthers to start their first offensive drive of the night. They put the ball down at their own 49-yard line.
Pretty good D here, but they can be run on.
Kawhi Lima, number 14, is your quarterback tonight. Devin Harding, number 3, is behind him. Fake to Harding. Right out to Connor Teague, number 1. Not sure if they're calling it a fumble or incomplete. They're giving it to Medfield, so a turnover on the first play of the game for Holliston.
Well, I'll tell you, in that Hopkinton game, Hopkinton and Medfield together combined for somewhere around, 6 or 7 or 8 fumbles and a few interceptions and everything. And they've kind of lived, both of those teams lived in that game on the turnovers. And, Holliston, once again, gets that turnover. And it's tough. You can't keep turning the ball over, and you can't keep having penalties and, expect to play well.
So 1st and 10 from their own 49 for Medfield as they get the first break of the ball game. Fake to McCormick. Munz takes it. Pitches out to McCormick in the flat. He's got a first down and is tackled at the Panther 35-yard line. McCormick has rushed for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season, the junior running back for Medfield.
And they like to get him in space, and that's what I said. You got to watch the outsides with them. They'll attack you a little bit on the inside, but they just kind of do that to make sure that you're playing them straight up.
Munns last week was 5 of 10 for 51 yards and a touchdown against Hopkinton. First down and 10 for the Warriors. Handoff to number 33. That's Cal Gardner. He stopped right away for a short gain. Second down and 9 for Medfield.
You know, this defense overall has played very, very well for Holliston. He's just giving up a few long gainers here and there, but other than that, they've been pretty steady.
3 receivers to Munn's left with Gardner behind him. Munns out to number 2. Tamawa Ojalape. That was his 16th catch of the season. He's got 142 yards and a touchdown for Medfield.
Yeah, he's their receiver. He's also a good punt and kickoff returner.
He picked up 4 yards, so it's third down and 6. Munns to pass, fires down the middle, incomplete, intended for Ojalape. That'll bring up fourth down and 6.
Yeah, it's an interesting position here for the Medfield coaching staff because they're probably going to go for it here.
Looks like Munn's bringing in the play for the offense.
Two back.
Munn's incomplete, so Medfield turns it over on downs to the Panthers at their 31-yard line. And the Panther defense holds.
Nice job both times by the Panther defense, but the offense now has got to pick it up and get scoring. You know, it'd be nice for them to play with a lead. You know, they had the lead quite a bit last week in the Norwood game. You can play much better, especially defensively, with the lead.
Lima hands it to Harding up the middle. He gets across the 35-yard line, maybe to the 36.
You know, I talk about the Medfield team going to the outside. That's where I think that Harding can have a really big night tonight. If he can get outside those tackles, he's going to make a lot of yardage.
Hand off to Harding again on second down. This time he's bottled up. That'll bring up third down and 5. Harding with 470 yards rushing, 122 yards receiving, and 4 touchdowns on the year.
So Harding and both Harding and Lima, they can get this ball to the outside a little bit. They're going to make some yardage.
3rd and 4 for Holliston. Lima drops. Incomplete. That brings up 4th down. Looks like Coach Kiley's leaving his offense out there.
Well, it's hard to tell because if Lima's out there, a lot of times they'll let him punt, put him in position as a quarterback, and then he'll punt from there.
Yeah, they've done it successfully a few times this season.
There's nobody back to receive the punt.
Lima to throw, fires it complete to Harper, number 84. And good for the Panther first down. That's Harper's 10th catch of the season.
When you look at this defensive alignment, you're going to see there's a lot of space in the middle. And what that does, it's going to open up a lot of one-on-one situations for Holliston. It's also going to open up your tight end there, right there. And Blake was able to catch that. Turn it in. He could have a real big night tonight if they want to throw to him over the middle.
Lima fakes it to Harding, takes it himself, tries to bounce it outside. He crosses midfield to the Medfield 49. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Panthers.
Clock is running, 5:40 left to go in the first quarter, no score.
Lima fakes it to Harding. Over the middle. Teague on the run. Number 1, Connor Teague is gone. Touchdown. 49-yard Panther touchdown.
Well, that was nicely done on 3 levels. First, that offensive line gave Lima the time to throw the ball. He threw a nice ball to Teague, and then Teague just used his great speed to beat everybody else in the field and score the touchdown with 5:17 left to go in the first quarter. Nicely played right there by the offensive line, the quarterback, and the receiver.
Teague lines up for the extra point. And Connor Teague with a strong kick is through the uprights, and he's perfect on the season. 9 for 9 at point after touchdowns.
And he also has a field goal this year.
Right, nice 32-yarder last year. That was the 2nd touchdown of the season for Teague, and the 2nd touchdown pass for Lima. Puts the Panthers ahead 7-0 with 5:17 to go in the first quarter.
You know, you never know how a team's going to come out and after the loss they had last week. You know, with 22 seconds left, they lose by 1 point, and you just never know. But I can tell you right now, from what I see, Holliston is here to cause a little trouble.
Guys, a rare 8-point scoring drive from Connor Teague there. That was a 69-yard, 6-play touchdown drive from the Panthers.
Thank you, Los. Teague's kick is a boomer. Takes him all the way back to the 2-yard line.
They get some good returns, but the thing is, Teague kicks it so deep, and he kicks it on a line. He kicks so hard and so fast that the ball is there almost before the guys get to release on the. But that's what's giving them the opportunity to get these drives, because otherwise Holliston would be setting them way back there.
But McCormick had to go back a few steps after he catches it, sort of like an arm outfielder over the shoulder.
Exactly.
But Medfield will start 1st and 10 at the 26. Full house backfield, power eye. McCormick tries to bounce it outside.
Well, right now, so far, Holliston's doing a great job of containing him and keeping him in there. And they like to. You'll see like I said, you're going to see many different variables of that in that offensive backfield, and it's all set up to block for McCormick, who really is a good running back. But inevitably, they're going to go outside, and you just got to contain them out there. Holliston's done a good job of that so far.
Tackled by David Villa, his 19th of the season. 2nd down and 9. Munns to throw, puts it deep. Nice coverage by Rodenheiser, number 28.
Well,
Austin Rodenheiser, step for step.
Austin looks back at the reference and says, "How about some offensive pass interference?" That was great coverage, and if you watched him, what he did there, just as soon he watched for the offensive player to turn his head, and Austin didn't turn his head until the offensive player did. That's the cue you want to cue off of if you're a defensive back, and he played that just brilliantly.
And
nice
some excellent pressure put on the quarterback by Kevin Sahajian on that play.
Yeah, and that's the other thing they can do. They can blitz on this team. They have a pretty good offensive line, but you can blitz on them.
3rd down and 9. Munns to throw again. Looks right. Up high. Ojalape, that was over his head. So 4th down and 9 for the Warriors.
And once again, I didn't see who that was. It was in there on. Yep, C.J. Pacheco was in there putting a lot of pressure on that quarterback. And that's the reason that pass went so deep, is because he released the ball before he really wanted to, because C.J. was right there on top of him.
So the Panthers just leave Andriola back to receive the kick.
They're trying to punt. They're trying to see if they can block this, I think.
Oh. High snap over the head of the punter.
Let's take a safety.
And Hasapitis is going to take a safety with 4:10 left to go in the first quarter. So another 2 points for the Panthers, and they go up 9-0.
Well, they weren't set up to block the kick, but I think the center thought the same thing I did, that here they come, so I better get that back, and centered it really high. Ironically, Hopkinton, who we're going to see next week, they had that same issue when they played Medfield. They had 3 or 4 snaps that were very, very high and ended up costing them a lot of field position. So with 4:10 to go, 9-0 Holliston. 4:10 in the first quarter, that is.
That's the second safety the Panthers have gotten this season.
Yep.
Who do you give that to, Lowe's?
Give that to the whole defense.
The team.
The whole special team.
That's like one of those team rebounds in basketball, right? You get the. I would give it to whoever is right on the over center, because he's the one that caused all the trouble.
You can't hit the center on the snap, though. You got to leave him alone.
Yeah, he was afraid.
That's the old days. That's the days you used to play. They used to mug the center.
Back when men were men. 4:10 left to go in the first quarter.
No, I was the long snapper on my freshman team.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Second string quarterback and long snapper. I won the competition.
I'm impressed with long snappers. It's not only that, but these kids at this level, when they're a lot of these teams playing the shotgun and they have to snap long all the time, I'm really impressed that they do such a great job of that.
So Teague and Andriola back. Teague's going to take it at the 35. He's still on his feet.
Great move.
Crosses 50 into midfield territories. The Panthers are going to have great field position for this offensive drive. They mark it at the 47 of midfield.
Now that's that old rule you and I always talk about. If they had called a fair catch on that,
could have kicked a field goal.
And
well, Teague probably could have kicked it from there.
Let's see if Holliston opens it up here, right, with this snap.
Hand off to Harding. Harding up the middle. Crosses the 45 down to the 43.
You know, like I said, this is really a pretty decent defense that Medfield puts up here. But our offensive line has the capability and the ability to dominate this game if they get it going. Oh, great move.
Devin Harding again, but this time he's got a Panther first down. The Panthers are rolling right now.
And that's kind of what's happening, what I just talked about, is you can see this offensive line now. They're settled in, and they're doing some good hitting, open up some holes.
First and 10 from the 36. Lima fires out to Andriola.
Yeah, it looks like one of those
There's a flag on the far side of the field.
See what the flag is. It's one of those block in the back deals. Holding. Yeah, holding.
Holding on the Panthers. Starting front offensive line for the Panthers, number 72, Vladimir Valesky, number 77, Charlie Stott, number 70, Captain Jack Schellings, number 53, Caleb Greenberg, and number 50, Jimmy Parmisi, and number 84, tight end Blake Harper.
They're good. I mean, when they're working as one, they're good, and they can really control a ball game.
So 1st and 20 for the Panthers. Lima to throw. Drops it off to Harding on a screen.
Oh, what a move.
Spins away from one tackler. Gets back the penalty yardage. Make it a 2nd down and 10.
He's setting up there over on that short side of the field, and what that's doing over on this side of the field is setting up a situation where either Lima or Harding can take off around this end over on this side of the field. There's a lot of room over here.
Teague and Ibbotson to the left of the formation. Harper and Andriola.
Offside.
Yep,
Offside.
There's an easy 5 yards.
Yep.
2nd down and 5 for Holliston now.
Offsides against Medfield. 2nd down and 5.
5 yards to go from the 31.
Ball at about the 30-yard line.
2nd down and short. This is 4-down territory. So right here, your whole playbook is open. You can do pretty much whatever you want to do.
Lima to Harding. Harding works his way through the defense. Spins around backwards inside the 10. Just short of the goal line. What a run by Devin Harding.
He's got that spin thing. You know, that's the same thing CJ does when he's playing defense. He's got that spin, and it's really difficult. That's the thing you got to really kind of understand what you're doing, because you can kind of get lost in there if you start spinning the wrong way or whatever.
Well, the Warriors were lost in that Devin Harding spin cycle.
They were, and you got to give that offensive line credit too, because they opened up that big hole for him.
So 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for Holliston. Lima to Harding. Touchdown, Panthers! Devin Harding with his 5th touchdown of the season.
Well, you get a running back like Harding who's really that good, and you put him behind an offensive line that's playing like that, and that Milford defense, a Medfield defense, is going to be in for a long night. Offside again. Now you can go for 2. Because now if you go for 2, that's going to be a 3-possession game. So let's see if Coach Kiley goes for 2 here.
Penalty on the play. Offsides on Medfield.
He is going to send out his offense.
Yeah, this is a really good move, because you score here and you're in a 3-possession game already, and there's 1:40 left still in the first quarter.
Sends out the War offense and Joey Tomaselli, number 22, at the quarterback spot. Harding on one wing, C.J. Pacheco on the other. Harding in motion, follows his blockers. 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's the way you want to do it, and that's a nice call by Coach Kiley.
So with 1:40 left in the first quarter, the Panthers are up 17-0.
You want to be careful. You know, you have a team like Holliston, and coming off that last-minute loss, I said a little bit earlier, Tom and Los, that you really don't know how they're going to respond, but I guess we know how they're going to respond tonight.
That was the 32nd touchdown of Devin Harding's illustrious career here in Holliston.
He's moving up. He's moving up on a lot of those, the yardage and the touchdowns.
5 plays, 47 yards on that touchdown scoring drive, capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run by Devin Harding.
He's got himself quite a game so far. Do you have yardage on him?
Teague going to kick off again here.
Devin Harding, 6 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown so far.
Nice. Teague booms another one.
Yeah, that's up nice and high.
Ojalape gets it at the 5. Breaks through the line. Big hit by the kicker.
Oh.
Stopped him in his tracks at the 40. Nice form tackle by number 1.
I was just going to say that, a perfect form. And the other thing is, what a weapon it is to have somebody with that kind of speed be your kicker and be able to make tackles like that and catch anyone. If anyone gets out in front of the rest of the group there, he can go out and get them. That's a big plus. A lot of times the kickers, maybe they're not football players or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Nicely played by Teague.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for Medfield at their own 40.
Two guys in motion, no?
Munns fakes it to McCormick, and he is sacked. Big hit by number 21. That's
Gibbons?
James Gibbons, number 21.
Oh,
wow.
I guess.
Munns faked the hand off McCormick and turned around and said, "What are you doing in the backfield to Gibbons?"
They would have been better off calling that. Weren't 2 guys in motion at the same time there?
I didn't see a second guy.
I thought the quarterback and one of the running backs.
Second down for 20 and 22 for Medfield. Munns to throw. Heaves it up. Out of bounds is number 26, Captain Will Griffin.
Not a bad pass by Munns, to be honest with you, Tom. And, just a foot or 2 out of bounds there. You only have to have 1 foot down at this level. Clock stops at 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 17-0 Holliston.
3rd and 22. Munns fires it out to Griffin.
Oh.
Tackle from behind. Pacheco caught up with a Medfield wide receiver.
That's how you never give up. That's why you never give up. That's a great job by CJ. He turned, he saw the pass come out, and I thought it might have even been him. Maybe it wasn't him. Somebody got their hand up and almost hit the ball. But he turned and he came in behind the ball carrier and made the tackle.
I mean, he wouldn't have probably caught Griffin in a race, but Griffin checked up, tried to make a move, and slowed up and got a good hit on him.
So here we go, punting again. Well, this will be the end of the first quarter right here.
4th and 15, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. Holliston 17, Medfield nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a few moments. So we start the second quarter, 4th and 16. Medfield lines up to punt. Low snap, scooped up by Hasapidis.
Blocked.
Loose ball. Looks like Ibbotson jumped on it.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did, too, because Holliston touched that ball.
Who got the hand on that one?
First down and 10 for the Panthers. The 43-yard line. Medfield.
Los looking at our instant replay.
So it looked like David Villa to me, guys.
I thought it might be Villa because he was somebody who was really tall and he got his hand up there. And
Captain David Villa with the block puts the Panthers in business.
boy, I had visions of Leon Lett in the Thanksgiving Day game touching that ball. 11:52 left to go in the half.
Lima to throw on first down, fires it down the middle, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
This has been a real team effort so far tonight.
Well, we got offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah.
They got the whole 9 yards. You know what the whole 9 yards means, by the way?
No, I don't.
Once again, thank you to our Medfield
That was about, there was a ammunition thing, I guess, in the machine guns or something. They had the thing of bullets.
Yep.
You get the whole 9 yards shot at you.
In the machine gun. How about that? Good as any.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Second and 10 for the Panthers.
I like stories.
Lima fakes it to Harding, out to Teague.
Nice throw. Nice
Teague
run,
makes a nice move, and it looks like he leans forward to the 30-yard line for a Panther first down.
enough for a first down for the Panthers.
Well, that defense, like I said early on, they're kind of spaced. I don't know what it is. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, like I said, it's not a bad defense. They play pretty good defense, but they spread really wide. And what that does is it creates a lot of openings for passing and running and putting your guys one-on-one against the Medfield defenders.
Lima to Harding. Up the middle, close to the 25-yard line. Nice gain by number 3. Good push by the offensive line. It's going to be second down and 3.
Yeah, they're opening up some holes in there. And, again, with the spacing, getting back to the spacing thing, that gives your offensive line some really good angles to block. And you can really kick out when you get a chance to block at an angle.
Harding to throw on incomplete. Brings up third down and 3.
Pass is incomplete.
Obviously, 4-down territory, 10:42 left to go in the half. 17-0 Holliston.
Pass intended for Andrew. Third down now, 3rd and 3. Let's hear it for
I'd like to see if the right hand of the side of the field is open. I'd like to see if Lima can get around that outside on the right-hand side of the field.
Lima to Harding. Harding
There's
has
flag.
enough for the first down,
There's
but a flag from the
two
side
flags.
judge.
2 flags. Flags on both sides of the field. It was almost like it was before. Almost like it might have been an offside, maybe.
I didn't see anybody move.
I really didn't either, unless they were lined up. Someone was lined up offside.
They're marking it off against the Panthers.
Did he say? I didn't see what the signal was.
So it'll be third down and 8 after the penalty. Must have been a procedure penalty.
It had to be something. It's only 5 yards, so. And it happened really quick. I thought it happened before the snap.
Lima looks right.
Got
Down
him.
the field. He's got a receiver. Touchdown, Panthers! Number 84, Blake Harper, with his first touchdown of the season.
Well, I told you, this is the night that you can go to your tight ends, and Blake is one of the good ones. Blake is a really good receiver. He's one of the good tight ends, and you want to You want to use him as much as you possibly can, and that was a really nice pass. I'll be honest with you, Tom and Los. I think that was the best pass that Lima's thrown all year. It was a beautiful pass.
Teague lines up for the extra point. His kick is up and strong. He's a perfect 3 for 3 on the night. How long was that one, Los? 30 yards?
Well, 30-yard touchdown pass to Blake Harper, and that's there. I mean, that's going to be there all night, and any time that a defense plays like that, that's going to be there. And you have that many weapons, and he's a good one. We had Owen McCarron last year. I thought was a really good tight end too, and catch the ball. But they really seem to like to throw to Blake a little bit more than they did to Owen, and that's really helping. It's going to help him over the course of the next 2 or 3 games here at the regular season.
So with 10-12 left in the first half, Panthers go up 24-0 on a 30-yard pass from Kawhi Lima to Blake Harper. That was Lima's second touchdown of the game. Second touchdown pass of the game.
Well, you got speed out there, on both sides, and then you got your tight end who's fast. You got some fast receivers. You got a whole bunch of receivers in that offense.
Blake Harper is the 6th Panther to reach the end zone this year. Connor Teague blasts it away inside the 5 to the 3.
Nice tackle.
And McCormick brings it out, but his tackle just short of the 20-yard line. So good coverage by the Panthers that time.
That is good coverage. They held their lanes. They did a nice job, and ball carrier comes up, and they were able to tackle him. 10:06 left to go in the half here. 24-0 Holliston. Game so far that's just been really dominated by Holliston.
Well, it's really been that offensive and defensive line.
That's right. But there's still a long way to go here.
Panthers dig in against this power I formation of Medfield. They hand it off to Captain Matthew Stevens. He gets a short gain. 2nd down and 8 for Medfield.
Hey, McCormick is their big back, and they rode him in that Hopkinton game, and he really responded. He played, I don't know how many carries he had. I think you had it here a minute ago, Tom. But he had some good yardage, and he had a lot of carries, and
24,
and he's really good. He's really good in getting to the outside. They're going to have to start using him a little bit more if they want to climb back into this.
Munns hands it on the counter, the play, but Panthers snuff it out.
Well, this front 7 right now is just playing really, really well for Holliston.
That's number 51, Villa, number 33, Lucas Badenkoff, number 57, Chris Bove. Good to see him back in there. C.J. Pacheco, number 44.
You get the Villa and Pacheco in there together, and you can do a lot of things with those two guys. But they're just so good and so fast, and you're throwing the other guys in with them, and it's just really special what this team can do.
3rd down and 8. Munns to throw, lets it go deep.
Great coverage.
Step for step. Evan Salem was right in the right spot. Got bumped a little before he could haul the ball in.
You're right.
Another one of offensive pass interference.
Exactly. It might, if you're going to call anything, they're never going to call either one of those. But you're right. It was on the offense.
He really was tracking that ball.
Now they're going to see. They're trying to put pressure on the punter. They must have seen something in the films about this punter. They're trying to put pressure on him again. They had the one bad snap, and then they had the low snap that got the kick got blocked.
Andriola back to receive the punt if it gets to him. Good snap to Hasapitas. He has to run away from the rush to kick it out of bounds.
Nice punt.
He really got a good one off.
He really did. He's the other quarterback, and, he runs a little bit more, I think, than Muntz. I think he's the older one. I think he's a senior, and I think Muntz might only be a sophomore, maybe. Am I right about that? I don't know.
I have Muntz as a senior.
Oh, Muntz is a senior too. Okay, sorry about that. But but he's the other quarterback, and he's not a bad quarterback either. But Muntz is the one they have in there to throw the ball. 8:14 left to go in the half. Holliston back on offense.
So first down for the Panthers at their own 42-yard line. Lima looks right, connects to Teague. Teague's away from a couple of tacklers. Just pushed out of bounds as he passes midfield. All the way maybe to the 45. So another first down for Holliston.
Well, Holliston's throwing the ball a lot more tonight than they've done in the past, at least so far this year. And I think what it's doing is it's opening up both the passing game and the running game.
Lima, quarterback draw, flag. Lima still works his way out over the first down. Big scrum by the Panthers. No whistle. Wow, he's pushed inside the 20-yard line.
I'm afraid this is coming back.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty by Kawhi Lima. Kawhi's rushed 52 times for 170 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season.
Well, let's see now. Are they calling that against? Yeah, they're going to call it against Holliston. We talked about a little bit the last game, Tom. What happens in those big scrums, and the running back just keeps pounding and pounding away. But it's that offensive line that keeps pushing the ball downfield and gives him the extra yardage.
Now tell me this: why didn't the procedure penalty stop that play dead?
I don't know if it was procedure or if it's somebody lined off sides.
No, they
did they show procedure? Did they say procedure?
So it backs the Panthers up 5 to the 50.
Oh.
Lima this time to throw. Looks down the middle.
Beautifully. Got off the line.
He's got Harper.
Oh, boy.
Had a step or two.
Oh, Blake Harper looked like he was shot out of a gun. He was like 15 yards downfield by the time that Lima went back to throw that ball. Boy, oh boy, did he get off fast. And that's there, too. That pass is there, so.
Second down and 15 for the Panthers.
6 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the half.
6:50 left to go in the first half.
Lima on the quarterback draw.
That's it. That's the cut. That's the cut.
Slices and dices all the way to the Medfield 40-yard line.
That's the cut you want to do. And what he did there was he took it right up the middle. And when he saw that cut to the right, he took that, and that pick gave him an extra 5 yards.
Third down and 6 for the Panthers.
Obviously 2-down territory here.
Third down and 6.
Jack Barrett was a ninja at quarterback draws.
Oh, Jack Barrett was I was talking about him the other night with somebody.
Lima looks left, fires left, got Teague in step. Leans forward, looks like he has the first down.
He does, and that was a great catch. You know how hard it is to go down and make a catch like that while you're moving. He made that catch while he's moving, That's really tough. That takes a lot of skill and a lot of balance. Of course, we know he's a great athlete, but he has that skill, and you wonder if that footwork that he got from playing all that soccer has made a difference. We know it's made a difference in the kicking game, but he went down and caught that ball while he was still moving. That's excellent job.
All the way to the midfield 34. First and 10 for Holliston. Lima fakes it to Harding, ducks it under himself, finds some room along the left sideline. He's all the way inside the 20-yard line. Another Panther first down.
Now, I don't know if it was designed that way, but if it was, that's that thing they're now calling the
RPO.
Well, no, they're calling it the PRO, the pass run option.
Oh.
And what happens is in a pass run option is you get your first option is you look downfield, and you saw him kind of kind of fake the pass. So I don't know if that was designed that way or if he just saw something that he liked and pulled the ball down. But they do have that thing now that allows the quarterbacks to first option is pass, and then they can run.
Ball's at the 18-yard line, so the Panthers are in the red zone. Fake to Harding, pitches it out to Andriola. And Brad works his way out for a couple of yards. Be second down and 4.
Talking about, you mentioned about that Andriola kickoff return last week against Norwood. Boy, oh boy, was that special. That was really, really nice.
3 receivers out to the left side of the formation for Lima. Lima hands it to Harding. Harding up the middle. Touchdown, Panthers!
He won't stop. He just won't stop. Yeah, I mean, he's just got that ability to just not stop. There's nothing that 2 or 3 guys can hit him, and he's just going to just keep going. And that's why he's such a really, really great running back.
A determined 18-yard touchdown by Devin Harding with 4:32 to go in the first half.
And again, that's caused by as you spread that defense with the offense and throwing the ball a little bit more to the outside now, and they got to respect that, and that spreads it out. And there's only 11 guys on that defense. You get that offensive line working the way they're working, and they're going to open the holes for Harding, and Harding's going to finish it.
7 plays, 58-yard scoring drive for the Panthers.
Teague's kick up and good. He's 4 for 4 on the night. The Panthers push their lead to 31-0 just before halftime.
I'll tell you what, with all these extra points and all these kickoffs, he's going to ask for overtime pay tonight, Teague is. He deserves it. 4:32 left to go in the half. You know, you kind of got to be honest about what's happening here. That is that Holliston had that brutal first 4 game schedule. And then they end up going to Norwood, and then they end up with another really, really tough game. I mean, those 5 games were really tough, really, really special. And that's why they have one of the strongest strengths of schedule in the entire state, Holliston does, because of
number
these teams they played.
Number 5.
Exactly. And so what happens is now you come in here and you play. This is nothing against, no disrespect to this Medfield team, who I thought is a really good team, and they've played some really good games. But, you know, I talked earlier in the intro about we're going to find out what we have here tonight, and maybe what we have had is that you are able to play at that level, and now you know you can play that level, and, you know, Medfield just obviously can't play at that level. And this is how you find out, you know, this is the thing you talk about all the time, Tom, this iron on iron thing, you know. And
iron sharpens iron.
There you go.
Teague tees up the kick and blasts away. McCormick says, I'm not chasing this one back.
Forget that.
Just let it go, and we'll take it at the 20. Well, the Panthers just a couple of plays from beating a very good Foxborough team, a couple of plays away from beating a good Norwood team.
That's what I said. And, you know, I said it could have gone, the Grafton game could have gone either way, so you might have been 1-4. or those other two games you just mentioned could have gone one play here and one play there. I know you can play this what if all night long, but seriously, if that happened, they could be sitting now at 4-1 and really up at the top of the state because of who they would have beaten. So this is a team that's really, really tested at a high, high level.
They're taking care of business tonight. Munns on first down, hands off to McCormick. He's tripped up behind the line.
They're just playing outstanding defense.
Second down and 11 for Holliston.
They keep playing like this, they're going to get the ball back again before the half ends.
Tomaselli on the tackle, number 22.
This is the formation I like. They'll come out to this side now on this blocking formation. Here they
Munns
come.
rolls out.
Yep, here we go. Oh, what a play.
Wow. Pacheco slam dunked that one in Munn's face.
How many times have I talked about this, Tom? When you get a chance to get in there, if you can't get to the quarterback, you get your hands up and you take away those passing lanes. CJ played that perfectly. He is having a heck of a night right now, CJ Pacheco.
Third down and 11 for the Warriors.
Of course, that stops the clock now with 3:37, so they hold them here. They're going to get the ball back, and they're going to be in pretty good field position, too. It's a big play for Medfield. They see if they can get out of this a little bit.
Munns under center. Pitches to McCormick, but he drops it on the ground. Yep. Covered over by the Panthers.
Yeah, this is, for Medfield, this is kind of when it rains, it pours, and,
Well, the Panthers are putting a lot of pressure on the
really
Warriors.
They really are. And
to execute every play. Panthers know what that pressure is like.
Absolutely. Now Medfield calls a timeout, which is interesting.
With 3 minutes to go in the game.
The clock, okay, stop running.
We'll take a short break and be right back. All right, so 4th and 20 for the Warriors. Punt formation. Hasapitas is in the end zone. Ibbotson and Andriola back to receive the kick.
Holliston's going to peel back, it looks like.
They come after Hasapitas. He runs to the right, kicks it up high. Ibbotson grabs it at the 37.
Oh, what a move! Oh, what a nice move.
Ibbotson to the left side, up the sideline. Touchdown, Panthers!
Wow.
Aiden Ibbotson.
What an incredible move out here. He brought those two defenders back this way, and he went right, they went right, and then he went left, and after that it was Katie bar the door. Great run by Ibbotson.
37-yard punt return for a score with 2:28 to go here in the first half. We're going to take a quick break. Looked like he had a cramp in one of the midfield players, but he's okay.
That's good to see him get up like that. He asked for Holliston was asking for their ball because after the punt return, it was Medfield's ball. They got like 2 or 3 of them thrown out in the field together.
Holliston lines up for the extra point. DeJesus with a nice snap. Lima with a nice hold, and Teague is perfect on the night. And Panthers go up 38-0 with 2:28 to go in the first half.
Well, this is one of the most dominant first halves we've seen in a long, long time, and we've had some good ones over here in Holliston, and boy, oh boy. You know, you see a score like this, and you think a lot that maybe that Medfield's doing a lot wrong. Maybe they're throwing a lot of interceptions and fumbling the ball and this and that, but it's just Holliston just playing very, very well.
Ibbotson with a nose for the end zone on that kick return. Boy, he really did a nice job getting to the wide side of the field.
He did, and then when they got down there, Tom, he had a nice
he
little
had a power in.
Yeah, he had some blocking. Some blocking on the other side of the field there that created a lane for him to get down the sideline. And as you said, then he got to power it in using his strength and speed.
His first touchdown of the season, second of his Panther career. Of course, his brother Dylan Ibbotson found the end zone a lot. Brendan Ibbotson said, I could have done that, but I had to play the line. McCormick inside the 5. Brings it out over the 20-yard line.
Return by Brady. A 1st and 10 for Medfield.
Well, look down here now and see what Medfield can do. See if they can get a little something going. Kind of maybe give them a little kickstart for the second half. But Holliston's going to receive the ball at the second half.
I think this Panther defense has their foot on the neck of the Warriors, and they don't want to let up at all.
Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, that's in any sport. That's what you got to do. You got to be very careful about getting a big lead and then relaxing. But I don't see that here tonight at all.
Munns with the handoff doesn't go anywhere.
Whoa. I thought he was almost going to fumble that.
He just was going backwards very fast. That was Gardner, number 33.
Normally, I would think that Coach Kiley would call a timeout here, but I'm just wondering if it's because it's 30.
Well, they're receiving the second half kick.
I know, but I'm just saying if normally he would do this if this was a 2 or 3 possession game right here. I don't think they have a time. They had a timeout yet, have they? They still have their 3.
Second down and 13. Handoff to McCormick, and he is wrestled down. Max Murrow, number 29, and friends.
You know what? The other thing I'm seeing tonight is a lot better tackling. You know, they're not missing any tackles. They're not waving any tackles. Not that they do a lot. They were really pretty solid defense, to be honest with you. But sometimes, you know, you'll see a missed tackle here or there. Tonight, they are not just hitting, but hitting really hard and hitting with a purpose.
Clock running with 52 seconds to go in the first half. Third down and 12. Munn's hands off and bottled up easily by the Panthers.
And they're just, both teams just going to let this clock run. I'm not sure if they even have to get the kick off or not, but 4th down here.
Well, Medfield probably doesn't want to punt right now. Now the clock will run down to the end of the first half. Panthers 38, Medfield nothing. We'll be back with second half action in just a few moments. And now Luce with the halftime lowdown.
Thank you very much, Tom. The score at halftime from Calvin George Fisher Field here in Medfield, Massachusetts. It's all Holliston in the first half, 38-0 over the Medfield Warriors. I don't really even know where to start on the stat sheet. I mean, pick a stat, any stat, and it's all Holliston. Let's go with total yards. You're not going to believe this.
Just beautiful music to my ears, Los.
Not going to believe this. 226 yards for the Panthers, -15 for Medfield. A lot of that is sack yardage taken into account as well. But, yeah, it's pure domination by the Panthers in that first half. 130 passing yards for the Panthers, 96 rushing yards, 26 passing, -41 rushing, according to my stat here. Again, that's a lot of that is sack yardage. And then third down conversions, 2 for 3 for the Panthers, 0 for 7 for Medfield. So the Holliston defense getting it done, not just on third down, but on first, second, every down so far today. Let's look at some individual contributors for the Panthers. Kawhi Lima is 9 of 12 for 130 yards. He's got 2 passing touchdowns in the first half. Devin Harding has 66 yards rushing on 9 carries, including 2 rushing touchdowns. He also has a catch in that first half. The leading receiver for the Panthers is Connor Teague. He's got 75 yards on 5 catches, including a touchdown reception. And Blake Harper has 2 catches for 40 yards, one of those catches being a tremendous touchdown reception in that first half. For Medfield, quarterback Alex Muntz is 3 of 10 for 26 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Their leading rusher is Cal Gardner. He has 2 yards. Their leading receiver is Brady McCormick. He has 1 catch for 16 yards, and that's just about it for Medfield stats. And then defensively for the Panthers, C.J. Pacheco, he's leading all tacklers with 4 recorded tackles in the first half. Matt Bazisco has 3, and Kylie Vargas has a couple of big tackles in the first half as well. But we have a few big impact plays as well from the defense. We have quarterback hurries from C.J. Pacheco and Kevin Sahajian. We have big pass breakups from Pacheco, from Austin Rodenheiser, and Brad Andriola. And then probably the biggest play on defense in that first half was a punt block that we are giving credit to David Villa for. We looked at the replay and looked like he got his big paw on that punt block. So for more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on X/Twitter at HCatFootball, and that's the lowdown.
Thank you, Los.
Did you get the punt return in there, Los?
Oh, punt return. 37-yard punt return by Aiden Ibbotson as well to cap off the scoring in the first half for the Panthers.
The Panthers scoring by land, sea, and air. And Medfield goes for an onside squib kick. But David Villo covers that up nicely. I tell you, if you were playing Panther bingo tonight, I mean, you've got a lot of things covered. Long pass, long run, safety, punt return, 2-point conversion, point after touchdown. I mean, you're missing an interception return,
well,
kickoff return for a touchdown.
We had a special team score, and we had several, quite a few.
Don't have a defensive touchdown.
But we do have the safety.
Oh, that's true.
So the defense gets the safety. Although that was a special teams too, wasn't it?
That was
special teams, yeah.
That's right. So we don't have a defensive touchdown.
The special teams have scored 8 points.
Go to war.
The defense
still a chance to get bingo. Panthers line up for war. Ibbotson on the carry. Looks like Vargas and Ibbotson are your 2 wing backs, with Sahajian as the fullback, Tomaselli the quarterback.
This is great because you get to see a bunch of these kids who have put in a lot of time and maybe not have had as much time playing, but they practice as hard as everybody else, and we get to see them play a little bit here tonight.
2nd and 4 for Holliston. This one goes to Sahajian, I think.
Yes.
On the fullback counter. You know the irony of Panthers going to war?
Yes, I do. Why don't
You
you tell
do?
us? I
No,
do.
go ahead.
Well, Nick Stevens, the coach,
Panther
who
coach.
used to coach, was a Panther coach, but he coached here before them, and he's taking the credit all the time. Try and get he and Coach Kiley in a battle about this, but this is where
He invented the war offense.
Yeah.
3rd down and 3. Pitch to Vargas, left side. Number 30 forward for a first down, and the Panthers move the sticks.
And they played really well. Medfield did when they started with that war offense that Coach Stevens did. But then Coach Kiley got a hold of it, and he even perfected it even more.
I think he modernized it.
Yeah,
At the time we did the games, I called it the turtle offense.
Yeah, you did.
They were so tight, the splits on those linemen and the offensive backs, you just couldn't see who had the ball.
And they had some good running backs back then from Medfield, and they did very well with that. And then, of course, Coach Stevens came over to Holliston, and Coach Kiley added a little flour and sugar and mixed it up and made it a little better.
1st and 10, pitch to Ibbotson, right side, big power up the middle, close to another Panther first down as he crosses the 45.
First down run, close to a first down. 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 44-yard line.
Looks like 2nd down and 1.
Sorry, Tom. 9:10 left to go in the
Tonight we had the
3rd quarter.
football and volleyball programs here in Medfield. Volleyball going on inside the gym.
Pitch to Vargas, left side, right through the middle.
Could be gone.
One man to beat. Kylie Vargas, number 30. Touchdown, Panthers!
Touchdown for the Panthers.
That was really great. Great job of blocking there by that line. We talked about this so many times with the linemen, whenever we get a chance to talk to them, and they love the war offense because they get to pound away, and, it's better. They like it better than pass blocking. They love it, and Vargas was able to go ahead and just take care of that. And what this is going to do now, by the way, great run by Vargas, great speed, and scored that touchdown, and now we go for the extra point. Ooh,
Missed
did
that
he
one.
Get that?
Nope.
Missed it.
Teague with his first miss of the season.
But the 44 points will put this into a running time game, so the clock will just keep running for the rest of the ball game.
Well, his number 13 extra point attempt was not lucky for Teague on that one.
No.
Here on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Put the whammy on him.
So I told you about the whole 9 yards. You know why Friday the 13th is so bad?
No, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
Well, it had to do with the Templars. Remember the Templars were the people
Templar
who went over
Knights.
and fought, they went over and fought the Crusades and everything, and they came over, and King, I think, Philippe of France had them all rounded up and killed on Friday the 13th. And it was October, too. Friday the 13th.
Wow.
So there you go.
Glad we're not playing the Templars tonight.
They couldn't make it.
So Harper, Ibbotson, and Vargas with their first touchdowns of the season. Teague's kickoff booms away to the 5-yard line. Returned over the 20-yard line.
Tackled by Vargas.
Vargas on the tackle.
Well, Vargas gets a shot to do stuff. He's doing a little bit of everything tonight. Scores a touchdown, makes a tackle on the kickoff.
He's the 8th Panther to reach pay dirt this season. And it's 44-0 with 8:44 to go in the third quarter.
Ball inside the 25-yard line.
Oh, 6:15 to go in the third quarter.
Oh, sorry.
That's when he scored it.
He scored at 8:44.
Yeah.
Munns fires it out to the flat. Catch and a gain for a couple of yards.
Player down. Maybe not. He's up.
Clock keeps running. As I said, this is running time now, so this clock will just keep running for the rest of the ball game.
Well, as long as you maintain the lead.
I don't know. I don't think it goes backwards.
Yeah.
So if Medfield were to score 44 points,
No, if
They
they're
would not-
if they're
I
able
don't
to
know.
score a touchdown.
That's an interesting question.
or even 2 touchdowns.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
2nd down and 9 for Medfield. Munns, short drop. He is chased
Got
down.
it. 57.
And number 57, Chris Beauvais with the sack.
Nice to see Chris back in there, and he uses his strength. You know, he gets pounded in the middle there. You know, those guys in the middle of the those
Right,
down
defensive
inside
tackles.
defensive tackles and stuff, and they get pounded an awful lot. And their job is to kind of keep the offensive linemen off of the linebackers, as well as trying to get in there and hold the line and make the tackle and everything. So they're always getting pounded. So it's nice to see them get in and get a sack like that. And that's really important. You know, if you can get those defensive linemen getting sacks, that really opens up your defense for everything else.
3rd down and 16 for Medfield.
Oh, Holliston jumped, so this will be offsides.
Munns able to draw one of the Panthers offside, so free 5 yards for Medfield.
Quite a night here for Holliston, and as I said earlier, they've had that just an absolutely brutal first 5 games, as far as not the way they played necessarily, but a brutal 5 games in the people they had to play against, and some of the top teams in the state.
3rd down and 11. Munns fires out to his left to Griffin.
Nice play.
Griffin gets some yardage and pushed out of bounds. Let's see where they mark the ball.
That's a first down, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Might be their first
They're
one.
going to give a first down to the Warriors.
I was going to ask you, Los, if that was their first one.
Let me check.
No, they got another first down in the first quarter.
Oh, the first quarter. Did they?
Yep.
Yeah, that's their second one.
First and 10 from the 35. Munns to throw. Out to Ojalape. Got a catch. He's pushed out of bounds after a gain of 6.
He's a good receiver. He's made some really nice catches this year, and as I said, also he gets a shot at returning kicks and returning punts, and he does a really, really nice job with that.
2nd down and 5 for Medfield.
Clock still running. It's going to be 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the third.
Munns to throw. Fakes it. Hand off to McCormick.
Third down, about 3.
I'm just about to say that Medfield's one-dimensional, and then they call the draw play.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't say that. 3rd down and 3. Munns to the right.
Get it? Did he catch that?
Medfield receiver went
Yeah.
down to
Look,
get it,
incomplete.
but he
Got
said
it. Nope,
incomplete.
Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Brings up 4th down and 3.
Fourth down, about 2. About 35.
So the Holliston defense, these kids out here now, they want to hold that shutout. It's important to them.
And as you guys, sorry, Jay, as you guys might imagine, Medfield not good on 4th down tonight. They're 0 for 2 previously.
Munns fires out to the right.
No, incomplete.
Incomplete.
And that'll be the last play of the third quarter.
So that's the end of the third quarter. The Panthers lead Medfield 44-0. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in just a few moments. Okay, so the Panthers take over on downs as we start the fourth quarter. They'll have the ball at the Medfield 42-yard line right in front of us.
I'm guessing they'll stay in the war offense.
Look who's in at fullback.
Oh, there you go. We're just talking about him.
Big number 57, Beauvais. Pitch to number 17, Aiden Ibbotson. He's tripped.
Short gain on the play,
Second down and 7. Or 8, actually, where they spot it from the 40-yard line.
You know, games like this, you put in sometimes the second and third team, or maybe miss around some plays. But the thing is, those guys want to play just as hard as anybody else. You're not, you don't. They're not going to stop. I mean, at the college level, you see this. At the pro level, and you think, well, they're trying to, slow the thing down. But these guys really want to win too. They want to show what they can do.
Timeout, Medfield, with 10:33 to go in the game. So we'll be back in just a few moments. All right, second down 8 for the Panthers.
Looks like it's still open if you wanted to get down there. Thank everybody, especially our custodians, for keeping our field nice and clean.
Oh,
That play never got started.
no. False start. Holliston.
Some new numbers out there for the Panthers. Number 78, Liam Duras. Hold on, get this play going. 2nd down and 13. Pitch to Matt Gimblett, number 26. He gets the penalty back. 3rd down and 10. Number 60, Tristan Crimmins DeRujo. Number 63, Landon Perry. Number 87, Cooper Fermani. Number 58, Ethan Savage. Number 27, Jack McElliott. McElliott on the jet play. Medfield strings it out nicely.
That name sounds familiar. That was did a lot of kicking last year, right?
Right. Until Connor the Toe Teague showed up.
The toe.
Think he would have outkicked Lou Groza.
Yeah. Lou the toe Groza. Holliston's going to punt for the first time. No, is this the first time they punt tonight?
Yes. So 4th down and 9 for Holliston.
Oh, great catch.
Teague turns around an over-the-shoulder catch and then sends one. It's going to drop down at the 22
Look
and
at
roll inside the 20-yard line.
That was a great play.
What a save by Teague. So Medfield will take over inside their own 20-yard line. 7:50 to go in this ball game.
Before we get a second, Tom and Los, we want to thank our HCAT crew here tonight. Tom Harmon.
Here.
Tom Harmon on the here the one's here. Yeah. Tom Harmon on the camera, and he switched off with Bruce Guilfoyle. We're glad to have Bruce back. He was away in
California.
California.
Full house for Medfield.
Oh, nice tackle.
Tomaselli on the tackle. Number 49, Sean Warner.
Bruce was out seeing his son Cam out there.
34, Pierce Duncan. 20 is Tommy Quinn. Getting some of these other numbers. 23, Rex Filame. 64, Ed Daniels, the 4th. Handoff on 2nd down.
Well, the one I can see out there is Ed Daniels, the 4th.
He is a one tall dude.
He's almost as tall as Ed Daniels, the 3rd, who was one heck of a basketball player for Holliston.
45, Owen King. 75, Grady Kiley. 60, Tristan Crimmins DeRujo. Already got him. 3rd down and 7.
Penalty against Medfield, sets the ball back.
46, Liam Brannigan.
clock keeps running here. There's 5:15 left to go in the ball game. It's a big deal for these kids. They get a chance to get out there, and they haven't got a chance to play varsity, and they get a big crowd here, especially the Holliston side. Huge number.
I loved blows when I was an underclassman. Get a chance to get on the real varsity field.
You get to play it.
Pass is incomplete.
I'm going to go with that thought a little bit that Bruce was out seeing his son Cam, and Cam, we had one of the great interviews of all time. Cam is a senior. We asked
the soccer team.
We keep asking the guys what they want to do, what they want to be. They're going to this and that. And I said to Cam, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be the Wolf of Wall Street. Are you kidding me? Seriously? He's a great kid, and he's helped us out on a few telecasts when he's been out here. But he's getting some success out there in California. We're glad to see it.
4th down for Medfield.
Good. Oh, wow.
High snap. Hasapitas gets a nice punt off.
Oh, you got to get on it. You got to get on it if you touched it. You didn't touch it? All right.
Ball down at the 40.
Holliston will have the ball at the midfield 44.
First down and 10 for the Panthers.
Well, next week, Hopkinton will be coming to town.
Yeah, I saw the Hopkinton game against Medfield, and I got to tell you, Medfield played very well against Hopkinton. And
What is Medfield? What is Hopkinton? 3-2.
Hopkinton was 4-1 right
4-1.
now. But they're again. This goes back to that strength of schedule thing, and they're rated quite a bit lower. I think they were like 20th in their division or something like that at 4-1. But just because
Tough Division 3. Number 20, Tommy Quinnen at quarterback. Pitch to Gimblett, number 26.
Well, these kids are really showing what they got out there. That's a nice run.
Run by 26.
Gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Well, 7.
Second down.
So we'll be home the next two games. Next week is Thursday night, and then we play Hopkinton. We'll get the call in here, Tom.
So get ready. 2nd down and 7 for Holliston. Pitch to McElliott. He's forward for another couple of yards.
So next week is Thursday night, and I believe it's at 7. But
7 o'clock.
check, yep. And then the following week, the Ashland game will be at home also, and that'll be senior night.
Wow.
So we have, I think, 18 seniors, on this team, something like
Nice.
that.
Yep.
So that's when Los kind of steps in for Jack and does his
Well, because
introductions.
Jack's got to be down on the field,
Oh, yeah, he's got to
getting his flowers.
Yeah,
No, very proud of his sons.
and should be.
I told Jack I would have the box of Kleenex ready when he came back to the booth.
There you go. There you go. Oh, it looks like there's a ball out. No.
Here's Duncan.
Pierce Duncan, number 34, on the run.
Fourth down and short.
It's 4th down coming up.
4th and 3.
There'll probably be a couple more plays, and that should be it as clock's winding down, 1:15.
See if the Panthers can convert right here. Pitch to Gimblett. He draws a lot of attention from midfield and does not convert. So it'll turn it over to midfield on downs. Just 47 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, good job by Holliston. They really deserve to have a win like this. They've played hard all year, and they've done a nice job. And once again, you get the strength of schedule issue, but you also have the margin of victory issue, which caps out at 14. So they'll get the 14-point margin of victory here tonight.
Well, it looked like the Panthers got their got their mojo back tonight.
It does. It does.
This is a game they should have won, and they took care of business to the tune of 44-0.
Last play of the game.
Hands it off, and that's going to do it. Gain of 5 yards. And that'll bring this Panther crowd to their feet, cheering on their beloved Panthers. 44-0. A lot to talk about building confidence as they head into Thursday night's matchup with the Hillers.
Yeah, they really needed this in that sense, but they played with a purpose tonight. And again, a lot of this is due to the fact of the schedule they've played, and they've really developed. I will bring up this thing you always say, Tom, about the iron sharpens iron, and that's kind of what's happened here. This team has really grown, even though they were at 2-3. They've really grown as a team because of that great strength of schedule.
Right. Well, a lot to look forward to as we've got Hopkinton and Ashland still on the Tri-Valley League schedule.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, both those teams.
Ashland's 3-2.
Ashland's a little bit off this year. You know, they might be 3-2, but they had I think
they were playing Norwood tonight.
I
think they were hosting Norwood. They
might have been. I thought it was Hopkins. No, it was them. I don't know. But this is a game. This is kind of what we will hope would come out tonight. I will say this though. I do want to say this before we get off the air. First of all, I want to thank our hosts here, Eric Scott, the AD here in Medfield, is just a tremendous person. He really helped us out a lot. And I also want to say about this Medfield team, they're going to win some more games because they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. They just kind of ran into a buzzsaw tonight.
All right, and now Los with the final lowdown.
All right, thank you very much, guys. The final score here from Calvin George Fisher Field. All Holliston all night long. The Panthers come away 44-0 victors over the Warriors. Like I said at halftime, everything in the stat sheet is in favor of Holliston. Total yards, 302-7. That's 130 yards passing, 172 yards rushing for the Panthers. 45 yards passing, and get this, negative 38 yards rushing. That is sack adjusted, but negative 38 yards rushing for Medfield. Only one turnover in this game, which is a lost fumble by the Panthers. And then third down, Panthers 3 for 6 on third down. Medway only 1 for 10 on all of their third down opportunities. Just a stout performance by the Panther defense tonight. Quarterback Kawhi Lima was 9 of 12 for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. A very efficient, very good game from Kawhi. The leading rusher for the Panthers was Devin Harding, 66 yards on 9 carries, including 2 rushing touchdowns. Had a long 28-yard rushing touchdown. Lima also with 30 yards rushing the football. And then Kylie Vargas, 50 yards on 2 carries, including a 45-yard rushing touchdown in the second half. The biggest play of the game for the Panthers. And then the leading receiver for Holliston was Connor Teague, 5 catches for 75 yards, including a beautiful touchdown reception. And then Blake Harper also with 2 catches for 40 yards, including a touchdown reception in the first half. For Medfield, quarterback Alex Muntz was 6 of 16 for 45 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Their leading rusher was Matthew Stevens, 4 carries for 3 yards. Their leading receiver was Will Griffin, who had 2 catches for 19 yards. And then defensively for the Panthers, lots to talk about here. The leading tackler on the evening was C.J. Pacheco. He had at least 4 tackles, but probably many more than that. He had 4 recorded tackles. Kylie Vargas, Joey Tomaselli, and Matt Bazisco also checking in with 3 tackles apiece. 2 big tackles from Kevin Sahajian. that were recorded in the stat sheet. And then some big plays here from the Panthers on defense. We had pass breakups from C.J. Pacheco, Austin Rodenheiser, and Brad Andriola. We had a big punt block from David Villa in the first half. And then probably the biggest play of the game, or biggest impact play of the game, was a 37-yard punt return touchdown by Aiden Ibbotson in the first half. Really electrified this team and all the fans here in attendance in Medfield. So for more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on X/Twitter at HCatFootball. And that's the lowdown.
Thank you very much, Los. We also, once again, want to thank Thomas Harmon. Great job, Tom. The great Bruce Guilfoyle. Thank you very much, Bruce. And nice job. Tom, you brought us home. You said you were going to do this tonight, and you did your job. Final score here from Medfield, Holliston 44. Medfield nothing. We'll see you next Thursday night at Comedian Field. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.